All right, everybody, we are live now with episode 29 of Just the Gi Top podcast. So today on the podcast, we've got Mason Monsevais from Art of Jiu-Jitsu. So Mason, thank you very much for coming on today.
Man, thank you guys for having me.
Awesome. So just our regular podcast members, we're short one. Unfortunately, our friend Jordan Short could not be here today, but we do have Ahmed Chirani.
Yes.
And the Rami Chirani as well.
Yo. And just a quick shout out to our sponsors, or a sponsor, I guess, VHTS, very hard to submit. They sell gis, spats. They just came out with new spats, I think. Shorts, all sorts of stuff. Hats. They have hats as well. You can use our promo code, just the GTOP, when you want to buy something. I think you get 10% off. Is it 10% off?
It's 10%. Yeah. I like how every week you say that he just came out with spats. Like he's.
I want to make sure people
for the last 2 months.
It's about 2 months, and unfortunately, Jordan couldn't join us, as Adam said earlier, due to some work commitments. For those who don't know, Jordan's a private investigator, and I'm not even lying. Like, I wish I was, but that's what he does for a living. So,
yeah, we might actually see him at some point, like popping up behind Mason.
Yes.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
But yeah, use the promo code, you get 10% off, and Rami will personally kiss your order before it gets.
I will. With lipstick.
So again, Mason, thank you very much for being on today. So maybe before or just to kick things off, if you could just kind of introduce yourself. I should also add that Mason is right now the #1 blue light feather in the world. So congratulations, first of all, and maybe just talk a bit about how you got started in jiu-jitsu and how you got to where you're at right now.
Yeah, for sure. First off, man, thank you guys for having me. I've watched a ton of your guys' podcasts, so really excited to be on. But yeah, my name's Mason, blue belt here at Art Jiu-Jitsu Academy. I train with the Mendez brothers. I've been here since the grand opening. It's been almost 2 years now. It'll be 2 years in July, so everything's been pretty good. But I basically just got started because I was pretty bored. I was going to college, and I was studying nutrition, and I had an interest in nutrition, but I didn't really know how I wanted to apply it. And I was always interested in like cutting weight and like using it for like a emphasis on sports. And I had a friend who was like really big into UFC, and so I was always watching like MMA fights. I was always watching like UFC events, and it just so happened that Josh Koscheck, a UFC fighter, he opened up his gym in Fresno, which is where I'm from, Fresno, California. He opened up his gym, so my friend that was into the UFC, he joined, and then he was telling me, you gotta join. And so I did eventually, and I was training MMA. I wanted to fight. I had every intention to fight, but I really like gravitated towards the grappling aspect. And then I put the gi on, and man, after I put the gi on, I was hooked. So I stopped training MMA really, and I was just training jiu-jitsu. But I mean, I still want to fight, but like I knew jiu-jitsu is what I wanted to do with my life. So I stopped going to college, and I was just training, and then eventually I moved down here to Costa Mesa to train full time. So.
At what point did you decide to actually come down to the Art of Jiu-Jitsu? Like, why did you decide to go there as opposed to all the other places? I mean, it doesn't seem like you're really attached to one affiliate.
So I was training at a gym in Fresno, and then I was training at there's basically like 2 main gyms in Fresno. I was training at them both because like the classes were like 1 hour a day, and I didn't really feel like I was like training hard, man. Like I would leave training and like not even be tired, or like some nights I wouldn't even roll. So I don't know. I was just like bored, and I wasn't really getting the results I wanted. And it just so happened that the bros were opening a gym, and I was a really big fan of them. I watched Hoffa Smith Cobrinha, and that was like the moment where I was like, man, this is what I want to do. Like I want that moment. And I met them at it was a Long Beach Spring Open. It was an IBJF event, but they had an expo. And I met them at the Storm Kimonos booth. And they gave me the flyer for their gym. And I still have it hanging in my room at my parents' house. But they gave me the flyer, and I just lost to the tournament. I competed in the tournament. I lost first round. Like, I was really bummed out, and I was walking around with my dad, and they gave me the flyer, and I just remember my dad was like, well, what do you think? And I was like, well, what do you mean, what do I think? He's like, you want to train there? And I was like, yeah, I want to train here. And then that was in May, and then before May ended, we already had like all the plans to move down there. I wanted to learn from the bros because I like their style. They're young, they're my size, and I thought it'd be best to learn from them. And they were in California, and so I figured it out with my parents. I didn't go to college the next semester, and I moved down to Costa Mesa that summer.
So it sounds like your parents are fairly supportive of it.
Man, like almost too supportive. Like, it's awesome. It really is awesome. They're about 5 hours away, but they're coming to like all my tournaments. They send me like packages, like just like surprise packages. I get to the gym and there's like a package waiting for me. Like, they're awesome. Like, they help out, man. Everything they for sure. They're the only reason I came down here. Like, so supportive, and it's really awesome. I'm really fortunate.
Jeez, man, your parents sound awesome, man. Seriously, that's amazing. Did they?
They are. They're. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
Yeah, we're keeping it clean. We're keeping it clean today because we know your parents are listening. So,
And my grandma too. My grandma.
Yeah,
No,
okay,
now
especially
we're
then.
really clean now. I should zip up my. I should not show my neck. I should keep it a little conservative there. But hey, how are your parents? Like are they okay with you dropping out of college? I mean, that's a big thing, right? I mean, I don't know if they helped you or whatever it may be, but like to say, hey, I'm done with school to pursue this. How are they at first?
So I was almost done with college. I was like 3 years into it. I'm almost done. But I think my parents realized I wasn't very happy. Like, I was just going through the motions. I wasn't. I don't know. I really like. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And then when I found Jitsu, I think they saw me like not alive, but like they saw me happy, like excited to train, and I think they recognized that and they supported it. If Jiu-Jitsu didn't work out, I could always go back to college. I think they understood that. But yeah, ever since it was really my dad's idea for me to move down here, and man, they've supported me 100% since I've been down here, almost two years now. And I think they realized if it didn't work out, I could always go back to college. I was almost done. I had about a year left, but man, they've helped out so much, and they've been so supportive. So it's been really cool, really awesome.
No, that's amazing. So you live over there. Obviously, you said you have a couple of roommates or whatnot. How does that work out for training? So what's a typical day of training for Mason? Take us through Monday through Friday.
Yeah. So my living situation is pretty crazy. We have a bunch of dudes all crammed into a 2-bedroom apartment, but to be honest, we only use the apartment to like make lunch and to sleep. Like we're in the gym all day.
So it's like a bolo base. I think that's what they call it around these parts.
Yeah, bolo base.
Something like that. Yeah. So I live with a bunch of my teammates. There's a few wives that live there too. We have a dog, so it's pretty awesome. But a typical Monday, I would say I wake up probably like 6:15. I have breakfast, and then I get to the gym about 7. We're on the mats like 7:30. And we do we call it Fight Club. It's basically like me, a few of my teammates, and the brothers, and we just work on specific drills. We do like specific sparring. If it's really awesome. It's like a private lesson, like a group lesson with the brothers. Right now, we're focusing a lot on their Metamoris fights, so like we're drilling a lot of positions for them. But it's really awesome. That's about 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the morning. And then we go straight into a fundamentals class, which is the first class of the day, and that's from 9 to 10:30. And then after that, we go straight into competition class from 10:30 to noon. So it's about 5 hours on the mat in the morning, and it's not super intense. Comp class is intense. Comp class is a lot of sparring, but it's a lot of drilling, a lot of studying the positions. Man, I feel like the private lesson, the fight club, like it's helped so much. Like I can make a mistake all Monday, and then Tuesday morning, the bros are focusing on that mistake. They're correcting my mistakes, telling me what I should have done, and it's like a private lesson every morning. So that's really helped. And then so I leave the gym probably 12:30, and I have lunch. I wash gis. I go home for probably about 2 hours, and then I come back to the gym about 2:30, and I teach about probably one private lesson a day. There's some days it's 2, some days it's 3, but normally it's about one private lesson a day. That's about 2:30, 2:45 in the afternoon. And then we go straight into kids' classes. And I teach from 3 to, well, basically the private lesson like starts the kids' classes, so like 2:45 all the way to 6:30. So we do a couple kids' classes. I'm really fortunate because I get to work with the advanced kids too, which is like all the colored belts, like the Rutola twins, Alyssa Wilson, all those kids. So that's always fun. And then so that's till 6:30, and then I have an hour break for dinner. Like normally I bring my food here and I just stay in the gym. I'll watch a class. There's an adult fundamentals class going on at 6 o'clock, and normally I'll watch that or I'll help out around the gym, and then I train again from 7:30 to 9. So I'm basically in the gym from about 7 a.m. to noon, and then 2:30, 2:45 to 9 p.m.
Wow. See,
And that's Monday through Friday.
You guys notice how he like itemized every like half hour because he knows his parents are watching. It's like he's like, look, I do a lot, guys. Look what I'm doing, you know.
So busy.
So recovery. We talk about this with guys who train full time. So I mean, you mentioned you eat lunch and you bring your dinner. You must be on some sort of supplement plan, or maybe you're sponsored by one or something or.
To be honest, I just need caffeine to get through the day, like pre-workout. I feel like as long as I'm eating good, like I'm eating healthy, a lot of fruits and vegetables, like I feel good. Starting Wednesday, I get tired, sore, but as long as you're on the mat, like it's easy to get through the classes. I feel like. So other than caffeine, I don't really take much. I try to eat as healthy as possible. I feel like fresh juice, like we have it's called Mother's. It's like a juice bar. I try to get a fresh juice every day. Like I feel like that really helps. But
okay.
That's crazy because like I was just saying to Ahmed before the podcast. Like I went to Toronto for a couple days last week or this week. I was on vacation, so I trained at one club on Tuesday and then 3 clubs on Wednesday. And it's like I needed like a sponsorship from Robaxaset or something. Like one day with 3 classes, I was done. I was like just going back to my sister's place and like napping between classes. So a lot of respect to anybody who can do that because I almost died.
I feel like your body adjusts to it. It wasn't always like this, but I feel like my body's gotten used to it. I know what to expect now. I know like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're gonna be hard. But I feel like as long as I'm on the mat, like I crawl to the gym, I crawl on the mat, I'll be fine. Like as sore as I am or as tired as I am, I'll be fine. Like,
do you ever feel like you're kind of? Go ahead. Sorry.
It's funny. Like it depends on how hard Monday was or Tuesday was, but like starting probably like Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, I'll be telling the bros like, oh, I'm so tired, and they're just like, man, shut up. You have like 3 more days, like. Just do it, but like it's cool. Like they know, like man, they work harder than I do. Like they're teaching all the classes, like they're running the gym, they're doing all this stuff. So like in the grand scheme, like they're doing so much more than I am. So it's really cool. Like I just try to follow their lead and don't miss any classes. I feel like as long as you're on the mat, you'll be fine.
So it sounds like you get.
Oh, sorry. Oh, no. Sorry. No, I said Rami. Remember Rami interrupted him?
I don't remember what that was about. Go ahead.
Interrupted you.
Now we've interrupted everybody.
This is how we do it in Canada. We just interrupt each other with apologies.
And then say sorry.
But no, I was going to ask, so it sounds like you get like a lot of kind of one-on-one time or like small group time with the brothers. Is that, would you say that's true? Or?
Yeah. I was just at lunch with them right now. We got lunch, but yeah, like it's awesome, man. It's so awesome. Like,
hey, that sounds pretty awesome.
They're the coolest, man. They're the coolest guys. Like, they really are. Like, man, they're so good at jitsu, but like even off the mat, they're so cool. Like, really, really nice guys, cool guys. Like, they're always like trying to involve people in everything they do. I think we're going bowling tonight. So, but yeah, like they're the
Bowling
coolest
or
guys.
bowling?
Yeah, we're going bowling tonight.
Oh,
So.
bowling. Sorry, I thought you said boloing.
No, no, no. The other, the other bowler.
Oh, okay. Can I go back to your training schedule there for a sec? I noticed
Yeah, yeah.
you didn't mention any strength and conditioning at all. Do you not do any?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I go back and forth with it. I feel like sometimes I need it, sometimes I don't need it. Lately, I've been feeling really good not doing it. I feel like as long as I'm doing jitsu, like training 3-4 times a day, I feel really good. I feel like really strong. I feel my grip strong. But
Okay.
there are times where I'm like, man, I need to lift. Like I feel so weak, or I don't know. I feel like it's really the diet. If I'm eating well, I feel good and I feel strong. I feel like I have a lot of energy.
Are all the guys who are like training full time with you, are they all kind of following the same regimen where it's like if you're not doing strength conditioning, they aren't either, or like you're doing 3 classes a day, are the guys you're living with, for instance, all doing that as well, or do you guys kind of do your own thing?
Yeah, yeah. We're pretty much all on the same schedule. The only difference is they teach classes, different classes than I would, so they have they have a different schedule. But we're all doing comp class from 10:30 to 12. That's like the main class of the day. That's like the hard sparring. We're all doing Fight Club in the morning, or there's a few of us doing Fight Club. But yeah, like most of my roommates, we're all on the same schedule. We're all doing the same thing. And yeah, we're the ones that are competing like as much as possible.
So is Fight Club open to anybody at AOJ, or is it just for like this specific, guys like yourself who compete at everything?
Man, to be honest, I think it's open to everyone. I just don't think anyone wants to do it. But it's really cool. But like, man, there's some mornings where it's just like, why am I here? Like, I don't know. I shouldn't say that because the brothers are gonna see that. But
it would be an honor if they watched this. That would be
no. But there's some mornings where like, oh man, I just want to sleep or like, I don't know, like relax or something, and it's just like, it's too early to be fighting that hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the brothers are always trying to involve people. Like they're super open. Like if you have a question, they'll answer. If you want to do something, they'll answer. Like man, they're always trying to involve people. So I mean, anyone can show up. It's just a matter of like being here on time and like being consistent. Because I don't think it's fair if like you're coming Monday morning and then you rest the other mornings, or like you only come on Friday when everyone's tired. So I think that's the only the difference between like the people that do it and that don't do it is just like the consistency and they want to be there. I really want to be there, like in the grand scheme, because I feel like it helps so much.
I was going to ask actually about, because you mentioned being tired and sometimes not feeling coming in. Have you ever been injured, and like maybe a serious injury, maybe it lasts, like a 3-4 month injury or something? Like, well, what do you do with your time then? Like, you probably still teach, I would assume, but have you been through that yet?
I've never had like that kind of injury since I've been down here. I feel like I'm always banged up, but I've never had like a serious injury. But if I did, I would still be teaching. Like a lot of the guys, like man, it's tough. Like they're getting hurt, or they're training too much, or they're tired, but like they're still teaching the classes, still helping out with the kids. They help out as much as they can, or if they can't help out, they're here supporting everyone, watching the classes. But I've been fortunate enough to I haven't been injured like that in that kind of like severity.
Okay.
Just like kind of touching up a little bit, like going back a bit, you were saying like on the Fight Club stuff, or like when you're drilling or whatever, the Mendez brothers will kind of tweak certain things they're not doing well or whatnot. How do you kind of choose what techniques you're going to be drilling or focusing on? Do you have like a set group of techniques that you work on all the time, or are you always just moving on to the next one? And is it your choice what you're moving on to, or are they kind of guiding you a little bit more?
Yeah, I think it starts with me. I tell them what I'm having trouble with, or I ask them like, oh, what, like, did you see this? Did you see that? And then they give me the answer, and maybe it works for me, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't work for me, then their next idea or their next technique. And the cool thing about training every class and like being with the brothers all day, every day, is they see everything. Like they see all my sparring sessions. They see me roll with certain people, so they're always aware of what I'm doing, what I'm having trouble with, and man, like their knowledge is it's amazing. Like like they have these little tweaks that'll just like change the whole move or the whole technique or make a huge difference, and they're always able to like notice it or pick it up really fast. So it's really cool. Like that's why I feel like I've been having like it's made a big difference, because I get train all day and I could be making the same mistake, and if I don't fix that mistake, I'm gonna keep making it. And man, we stop it instantly, we correct it instantly, and I feel like that's why I'm able to like make progress really fast. And I feel like that's the only way you can really make progress, is if you're training, you're recognizing your mistakes, and also competition too, making the mistake in competition. I think that's big. But other than that, like it's just like they have a really good understanding of jiu-jitsu and all these techniques, and it's really up to them. Like they find what works best for me.
So
that's amazing.
Go ahead on it.
No, I'm just kind of blown away with the personal one-on-one attention. You guys.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
I was kind of just to kind of follow up on that. You get all of this sort of one-on-one attention from the brothers. So do you find that as a result, your game kind of emulates them? Like when you watch any of your competition footage, I think you can see that influence. But you also play a ton of omoplatas. So is it mostly the brothers that are influencing you there, or is there anybody else that you kind of try to emulate or model your style after?
I'm always trying to copy the brothers. That's the whole reason I moved down here, is because I like their style, I like the moves they're doing. But I found certain moves that work best for me. And the cool thing about the brothers is, man, they have really good omoplatas. It's just that you don't see them because they're always taking the back or they're always passing the guard. So you don't have, man, they don't waste their time with like setting up an omoplata or something. But they're so good at every position that I feel like I found stuff that works best for me, and then I can copy that from them. So maybe I'm not Baron bowling every match, or maybe I'm not knee sliding every match, but I'm still doing their moves. I'm still doing their omoplata. I'm still doing their Toriano pass and stuff like that. And man, for sure I'm trying to copy their style because they're very successful. So it's really cool. Like I found like their moves work. It's just my version of their moves that I use in the tournaments and in the sparring.
Do you so that's training. That's awesome, and we can go back to that in case. But I've always wondered, you're at AOJ during when they have like MendezBros.com, they got people coming in to roll and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like for example, not too long ago, I think Keenan was there for ADCC practice, and I believe they have other people that come in. Johnny Grippo came in a couple of months back or whatever. Excuse me. How much is that? And maybe you can't answer that, but how much of that is like a work? Do you know what I mean, for the camera, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, so what I mean is like, I'm not saying that it's fake, but I mean, is there certain things that aren't shown, or is it just raw footage? Like just here, these guys are rolling. Like, because I never see the Mendez bro get on the wrong side of anything. You know what I mean? Like ever. So I was just wondering, like, is it like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Can I ask that? Can I ask that?
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah. To be honest, they don't really get in trouble. Like, and if they do get in trouble, they find a way out, and they're like capitalizing on it. It's crazy. Like, it really is crazy. I wish you could see like the matches I see of them sparring. But yeah, to be honest, like I hardly ever see them in trouble. I see them roll like an hour straight with fresh guys, and they're submitting the guys like fast, and these guys are fresh like the 40th, 50th minute. Man, they're doing awesome still. It's crazy. Like, it really is crazy, because you see Keenan winning all the tournaments, right? Like he's winning the tournaments easy, and then you see the sparring video, or like it's just, yeah, it's crazy. Like, it really is crazy. It's hard to explain. Like, unless you've seen it and you've witnessed it, like, it's crazy. I I wish I could tell you some of the stories, but like I don't want to like say certain names and stuff. But like, it's awesome, man. It really is awesome. Everything's like
How do you
everything's
feel?
sparring.
How do you feel you benefit from? Because like I haven't had a chance to roll with too many world champions. I train at Half Gracie in San Francisco,
Mhm.
but the like I think the only world champion I've actually rolled with was Braga Neto, and I just feel like when I did that, he like made me kiss my own ass. I know your parents, but and it was like it was the worst experience, and I feel like I learned nothing because he just smashed me. Do you feel like that's kind of is that kind of how you feel when you roll with these guys, or do you feel like you can take something away? Because they're good, obviously.
Yeah.
It's on another
Yeah,
level.
you're going to get smashed. You will get smashed. So, and I'm the same with Rami. I roll with a black belt, and he just wipes the floor with me. I'm like, I learned nothing there. I learned that the black belt's better than me, and that's about it. I'd rather get smashed by like even a blue belt or a purple belt than I'd be like, oh wow, now I can relate to them.
It's like you don't even know what just happened.
Yeah, like how do you relate to royalty, like the guys you're rolling with, you know, like.
Yeah, for sure it's tough. Like these guys are good, man. They're really good. But I feel like how I'm fortunate is I train with them a few times every day. So I'm rolling with, like, especially Professor Gee. I feel like I roll with him probably 4 or 5 rolling like sessions a day. Like, so man, 30 minutes a day probably of just like actual sparring, not even just drilling, but like actual sparring. And I feel like obviously like there's times when he's taking it really easy on me. He's just like he's resting. He's doing active rest. And there's times when I feel like he's like turning it on, like trying to kill me. But so I'll roll with him, and then I'll go to a blue belt. And man, I can feel the difference like instantly. And like I think you pick it up little by little. So the more I roll Professor Gee, the easier it is to transition back to like the blue belt or the purple belt or the brown belt. Like I feel like it helps for sure. It's not easy. Like I'm getting smashed all day by them, but it's when you go back to the lower belts or the smaller people, and then I feel like it's way easier. So like if I'm sparring Professor Gee, and then I go fight a blue belt light feather, like man, I feel like I'm drilling. Like I really do feel like I'm drilling, or the intensity's not there. So I think I'm fortunate because I get to roll with them multiple times. I think one time it's hard. You're not going to pick anything up. It's going to be way harder to learn anything and bottom side control for 7 minutes or something, being mounted. So, but like I'm fortunate enough to roll with them multiple times a day. So
You guys heard it here first. Mason just said he's in bottom side control for 7 minutes, meaning they never sub him.
No, except me. I'm in bottom side control because they keep passing. They passed me like 10 times in 7.
Does that help you mentally? I mean, obviously, I think I know the answer. It's a rhetorical question, but I'll ask it anyway. Does that help you mentally in tournaments? Like in your head, you're like, look, I roll with the Mendes bros. This guy in front of me is just, you know, like do you think that?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's I tell myself that like every day. Like, man, I'm training with these guys all day, every day. Like, what can a blue belt do to me? You know, like not in a cocky way, but like in a like I'm working hard. You know, like I'm taking my beatings and like. I'm trying to learn from them and stuff, and that's how I feel in tournaments. Like I train with the top like black belt light feather and featherweight. So like when I go and fight a blue belt featherweight or a light featherweight, it's the intensity's not there, the techniques and the timing's not there. So like I take a lot of confidence from it. I mean, I for sure like it's easier. You know, it's obviously easier. Like when they grip me compared to when Gee grips me or Professor Hoffa grips me, it's different. So. For sure it helps, like without a doubt, it helps so much.
It's amazing. Are you again, if you can't answer this, that's okay. But you obviously train there. Are you like a paid and you teach the kids classes and whatnot? So do you pay a membership, or are you kind of one of their, you know, do you train there for free? I guess is what I'm asking.
Yeah. So I'm a coach. I coach kids classes. I teach private lessons. So I'm part of AOJ.
The team, okay.
Yeah. There's a few of us, like 6, 7, 8 of us that teach the kids classes, teach private lessons, work the front desk. One of my roommates, he does all the online training program stuff. So we're all, yeah. That's the cool thing about the brothers too. Is like, man, they welcomed us in. Like the people that were here in the first few months, they really took care of us. Like, man, we're very fortunate.
Again, guys, you know what? We never really introduced some of his titles. We just kind of got into it, said, hey, he trains at AOJ. 2013. Yeah. So right? Am I right? Adam,
Yeah,
that
no,
was your
you're
fault, man.
definitely right.
You didn't really introduce him.
I did mention that Mason is the #1 ranked blue light feather.
Yeah, okay, but what does that mean?
Yeah, well, he wins everything basically.
Yeah.
No, I lost
Okay.
the Pan Ams, man.
Yeah, so yeah, and actually, if you don't mind talking about that a little bit, because I didn't happen to see the match and I can't find video of it, but you won Euros this year, so maybe just talk about what happened at Pans this year.
Yeah, so I felt really good at Pans. It was just another tournament to me. I'm competing as much as possible, so even the big tournaments, they feel like just regular tournaments. I felt really good, and then in the quarterfinals, I fought a pretty tough kid from Brazil. He's pretty good, and it was a tight match. I felt like I was winning. It was 0-0, but I felt like I was winning. I was attacking more. I feel like I could have got a few advantages for a few, almost taking the back and a few ankle locks, but I didn't get them. And there's probably about 45 seconds, a minute left, and I felt him coming on top from double pull. We were in double pull, and I felt him coming on top to get the advantage, and so I came up with him. And I came up with like a single leg, and I had I had the pants grip, and then I came up, switched it to a single leg, and I was trying to take him down, and then I didn't finish the takedown, so I pulled guard, and I jumped near the edge of the mat, so they reset us in the middle, like close guard. I was on bottom, and I thought I would have got an advantage for the takedown or anything really, but I didn't get it, and then they gave him 2 points. They said he took me down, and it was only 40 seconds left, and I couldn't sweep in the last 40 seconds, so I ended up losing. But like we talked about it with the referees for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and they said he took me down, which is fine. Like that stuff happens. Like I'm not bitter about it. Like I understand. Like that stuff happens. I wish it didn't happen at Pan Am's, one of the bigger tournaments, but it is what it is. Like. I felt comfortable. I never felt in danger the whole tournament and all my matches. My other matches, I was winning pretty easily, or not easily, but I felt very comfortable. I felt in control the whole time, and even in this match, I felt in control the whole time. But it is what it is. Like I'm not mad about it. I don't think the refs are out to get me or anything. I don't think it's anything like that. But it is what it is. So.
Mason, was that your third match? Sorry, Robbie. And then
that was my fourth match. I won 3.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that was a quarterfinals.
Okay. Go ahead, Robbie. Sorry.
I just had a complete mind fart. Oh no, I got it. So you even said like when you first even met the Mendes brothers, you said that you like lost in the first round or something. Obviously, you're a lot more successful now. You're training a lot more for one. But was the mental game ever really an issue for you? Because I think everybody knows like somebody who trains a lot, and they go to tournaments and just nothing happens. Like they lose the first round, or that keeps happening. Was that ever an issue for you, or did you kind of you were training hard, you went to tournaments, you kill people basically, or was that ever something you had to deal with?
I've always felt like I've been very competitive. As soon as I started jiu-jitsu, I wanted to compete. Like I remember like my first day of training, I'm like, oh, like when can I compete? Like ready to compete, or I don't know. I've always been like very competitive. It's always been my focus when I'm training is getting ready for tournaments and stuff. But like training here at AOJ, I feel like the training's so hard that it makes the tournament easy. The tournament is it's enjoyable for me. I feel like I'm able to showcase my jiu-jitsu. I feel like it's fun because I'm not training against guys that I roll with every day. I'm not training against like black belt world champions. I feel like it's very fun. I don't feel nervous. I used to get nervous just because I felt like I had a lot to lose. But now that I compete as much as possible, if I win, I come back to the gym on Monday. If I lose, I come back to the gym on Monday. And if I I don't know, if I get hurt, then I'm gonna come back to the gym on Monday and watch. So like I feel very comfortable competing. Maybe I get a little bit more nervous for the bigger tournaments, but I feel like I take those more serious. I train more focused on the tournaments for like Europeans. I went to Europe a week earlier, than a week before the tournament, so I was already on weight like before I left and everything. I was really focused. I felt really good. For Pan Am's, I felt really good. I made weight really early. But other than that, I feel like I'm always training for a competition, so I feel very comfortable competing.
It's actually what Keenan's, I believe, said. I've read an interview. He says something similar where he trains so hard that he looks forward to the tournaments because it's actually a break for him. Because so Mason, before a tournament that happens on Saturday, Friday, are you off? Do you rest? Thursday, like, well, what is it leading up to the tournament? Do you still train on Thursday, Friday, or do you?
Yeah, man. Sometimes I train on the day of tournaments.
Oh, wow.
I went at like 4 o'clock on Pan Am's, and I trained in the morning. I was on the mat 9 o'clock. Just because I feel like I'm training all day every day. So if I train the day before a tournament, it's just another day for me. The tournament is just another day of training for me.
That's a good way to do it. That's a good, actually, that's very good. That's very cool mindset you have there.
Yeah, I used to try to make weight super early so I could rest, or like, I don't know. I feel like I would always like, oh, if I get to weight on Tuesday, I can rest Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. But I don't know. I feel like whether I compete or not, I'm going to train Monday through Friday. Maybe I take Friday night off if I compete Saturday morning. But other than that, it doesn't make a difference, I feel like. I feel like as long as I'm on the mats, I'm training, I'm happy. I'm staying loose. I'm staying focused. I feel comfortable competing. I really don't take a lot of time off. Besides probably Sunday. If I compete on Saturday, then I take Sunday off.
Shit. No, okay. No. That's cool.
Yeah.
But, Adam.
Oh, you put me on the spot there, Ahmed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
maybe we can talk quickly because I was watching your 2013 blue belt highlight video.
Yeah. I like this.
A person that we know, a good friend of ours, VJ Hammonshaw, makes an appearance in that particular video. I think it was the Las Vegas Summer Open last year. So maybe you could just talk a bit about your match with VJ.
So before we go on, we mentioned this earlier on maybe 2-3 episodes ago. He's the big Indian guy who's at every IBJJF tournament. So he's
literally every IBJJF tournament.
Yeah,
every
tournament.
Yes, he has what they like. He's got money. This guy's stacking money. Like he'll stack past you and stack money. That's what he does. Right? So, and so he flies that everywhere. Right? And so people will know him if you see him. So anyway, you faced him, I believe.
Yeah,
and, this was actually a YouTube question. I know we're not at the YouTube questions yet, but somebody wants to know your opinion. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
Can you ask Mason his opinion of VJ Hammonshaw from Gurney?
So he's sort of a local celebrity here, north of the border. So, in
his own mind, if nothing else.
No, VJ is awesome, man. I see him everywhere.
I know, right?
Yeah, everywhere. Like everywhere. I see him. Like I've seen him in Miami. I've seen him in San Francisco. I've seen Vegas. Like, man, he's everywhere. But
how did that match end? Was it points or did you sub him?
It was points. I was winning by like 2 advantages, and then I had a sweep in the last like few seconds that I came up, and then I don't think there was enough time to like get the points to stabilize the sweep and get the points. So I think I got another advantage, but I think it was like 3 advantages to 0 or something like that.
Did he try to bait the triangle? Because
man,
VJ like just dies at waiting for people to put him in triangles. It's his number one method of passing.
Yeah, man. I remember okay, I'll tell you the whole story. So I went to Vegas, I won the division, and then I was so focused on the absolute. I really wanted to win the absolute. I remember like thinking like, oh man, this is my time. Like I feel good. Like, all right. So then my first fight in the absolute, I had a heavyweight. I beat him by like a few points. I was able to sweep and like I don't remember, but I beat him by like a few points. And I just remember like walking off the mat like so tired. I'm just like, oh man, like yeah, I beat a heavyweight. Like now, now I'm gonna get a small guy for sure. I'll get a small guy. Like
for anybody who doesn't know, VJ competes in the ultra heavy division.
yeah. The odds are like, man, I'm gonna get like a featherweight, maybe a lightweight, whatever. It'll be better than a heavyweight. And then so like I went back to the bullpen. I was just waiting, and then like they're like, okay, Mason Monsevais, and they lined me up, and they're like, okay, VJ Hammonshaw, and then like like start following me. I'm like, am I fighting that guy? Like really? I was like, really? And then I was like, all right, hold on, I gotta go tape my wrists. Like my wrists were sore from like the other fight, and then I was just like, I remember like walking to the medics table, just like, oh man, like whatever. It's just 6 minutes. It's just 6 minutes. I can do this. I can do this. And I look at him, and I'm just like, oh my god, that guy's so big. And then like, so we started fighting, and I just remember thinking like, oh my god, like this guy's so heavy, like he's so big. And then like I think I got like an omoplata on him, but like it was nowhere near like being finished or like sweeping with it. Like, man, I feel like I was like just hanging off of him.
Like you're going for a ride on Space Mountain.
Yeah, for sure, like roller coaster ride for sure. And then I think I got an advantage for that, so I was winning by like one advantage. And then there was one point in the match where I was like, man, I'm either gonna die or I'm gonna win this match. Like, I remember thinking this in my head, like, man, like my back is gonna break or I'm gonna win, like either one. And then somehow I don't know how, but I was able to like score a few more advantages or another advantage, and then I think towards the end he started getting like he had a score to win, so he was getting like he was opening up a little bit more, and then I got the sweep at like the last like few seconds, but I don't think it counted because of time. But I just remember like for 6 minutes I was in so much pain, like I was so tired. And then like the clock was like 10, 9, 8, and then all of a sudden all this energy just rushed into me. And like there's a video, I like sweep him, and then I just hop up like. I mean, I was so excited. Like, I felt like I just, like, won Worlds or something. I don't know. But, like, I had all this energy. And then, like, they raised my hand, and I was so excited. I went back to the bullpen. Like, man, I was, like, on top of the world for, like, 30 minutes. And then, like, the adrenaline dump came, and I was so tired. And then, like, I had 2 or 3 more matches, and I was just so tired after that. But, man, BJ's awesome. I see him everywhere. I always say hi to him. We almost fought again in the Miami Absolute at the end of the year, but it didn't work out. We were on the same side of the bracket, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, no, big respect to him. He's, I mean, he's an avid competitor, and he's a good friend of ours. So yeah, respect.
And he used to be a professional wrestler, actually.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool, man.
We want him on the podcast, but he's been ducking the podcast for a bit.
He's waiting. He's waiting for his IBJJF ranking to go up. I think he wants to break top 5 before he comes on the podcast.
He's a smart man. He knows what he's doing.
Anyway, yeah, no, thanks for sharing that, because I just saw the picture. I didn't know the story behind it, but that's that's awesome. The other YouTube question we have. Oh, Adam, sorry. Adam brings it up on screen. He's like the tech guy right now, so.
All right, here
I could just read it, but we should display it like we're.
Here, you can read it, Ahmed, and I'll throw it up on the screen.
Okay, yeah, sure. Here we go. Well, you could probably read that, Mason, but I'll read it for people who might not be able to. Hey, Mason. Obviously, the Mendez Bros are one of the best, if not the best, grapplers in my opinion. They have highly technical, but have never enrolled with them. I was wondering, how much do you think their strength combined with their technique is a contributor to their success? And then it says, and it's not reading the rest of it, but I can say. I can find it, the rest of it. I've heard that Cambrina is incredibly strong. They seem to get the better of Hafa prior to getting stronger. Did you get that?
So I think that the long and short of it is they're asking if it's helped the Mendez brothers since they've gotten stronger with their competition game. I think that's what I'm reading.
I think so.
Yeah. Man, rolling with them, it's like a next level strength. It's like. Man, they're so strong, but like, it's not like they're not technical too. They're so technical, and I feel like they're so technical that it makes them feel stronger. Because I've noticed this in my own game. If I get better at a move, I feel like so much stronger in it. I feel more confident in attacking the move during sparring. But like for sure they're strong, but they have very good technique too. Like if that's the question.
Yeah, you heard it here, guys. Mason just told us that the Mendez Bros have good technique.
Yeah, so, they know what they're doing.
They're not bad, yeah.
No, they're not bad at all. But I've heard the same stuff about Cabrina, that he's really strong too. But I'm pretty sure that everyone at that top level, like, they have good technique, they're strong, they have nice hair too. So that helps.
Just really quick, just for the viewers out there, and you can tell us if you agree or disagree. Does Mason and Rami not look like they're brothers? Like,
I was actually just messaging you guys to say the same thing. There's definitely like some resemblance there.
like
Yeah,
if you
well.
look at the bottom of your screen there when Rami and Mason are both on it, it's the resemblance is uncanny.
Yeah.
Long lost brothers, maybe.
Oh geez, sorry man, sorry Mason, I got lost in thought there. I was looking at you and looking at Rami and then
You got lost in our eyes, man.
I did, yeah. That's exactly it. Okay, so let's go forward. Going forward, Worlds. That's probably the next. Is that the next tournament you're doing?
No, in 2 weeks, or yeah, 2 weeks from today, I'm going to Boston.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna do the IBGF event there. I'll come back and do Las Vegas at the beginning of May, and then Worlds.
Okay,
so
so
two more
you're
events.
skipping. You're gonna skip New York then, or was it just a choice between Boston and New York, or?
I went to Boston last year and I really liked it. So I told my dad. My dad's a really big Red Sox fan.
Okay.
So I told him like, hey, let's go to Boston. So they're gonna meet me there, I think, or I don't know. We might be flying together, or my parents are gonna meet me there. But we're gonna go to Boston. I'm gonna do the tournament, and then that night we're gonna go to a Red Sox game. So it'll be
Sweet.
cool. Yeah. It'll be really cool.
So
And then I'm not doing New York because of that.
right. Well, I mean, they're only a week apart or something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that, so
hard.
You want
Yeah,
to fly back. When it comes time to flying like that, then does AOJ fly you out for these tournaments, or is it kind of all out of your own pocket? Sorry, I know it's a financial question, but I'm always kind of wondering.
Yeah. No, I pay for all of it.
Okay.
Like I feel like it's expensive for sure. Like forking over a few $100s for a plane ticket is it's not fun, but man, it's so worth it. Like I love competing, and if I can't compete in Southern California, then I'm gonna fly somewhere and I'm gonna compete, or I'm gonna drive somewhere like as far as I can to compete, you know. And so, what's that?
Sorry, I was gonna say it's just like you're also really lucky to be in Southern California. Like, all the big tournaments
very
and-
lucky because there's a lot of tournaments, and like Arizona and Las Vegas, they're only a few hours away. So if I go to a tournament there, it's a drive. But yeah, like I feel like it's so worth it. So I'm teaching private lessons. I'm like any money I make, like working, like it goes to like traveling and tournaments and all. Man, whatever I can do, I'm trying to do. So as much as possible is what I'm trying to say.
So after Worlds, win or lose, world champion or not, do you think you're going to get your purple belt? Because it sounds like to me, again, if people only knew what your 2013, like what you accomplished, it's pretty amazing. If for those who may I don't want to even read it out because it's just too long. Check out, just the Top. It's on there, or you can check out, Mason's page, whatever. Because it was funny. I was talking to Mason before we did the podcast. I said, hey Mason, could you give me a list of your 2013 accomplishments, please? Like, I know you've had many more than that, but just give me 2013. Within a second, he just pasted. He pasted everything, and it's like he had it in his copy buffer or something. Like it was just there. Yeah. And, like I said, there's so much there, man. And like I know you haven't been a blue belt for very long, but this purple belt in the horizon. Like, do you guys do stripes over there? I don't even know. Do you have 4 stripes on your belt?
Yeah, so I'm a 1-stripe blue belt right now.
Like, come on. Are you serious?
I've got 1 straight blue belt too.
Yeah, Adam versus Mason. Make it happen. Mason, fly out here.
No, I'm sick that day.
Yeah, so I don't even think I can get my purple belt until December, because for IBJJF you have to be at least 2 years at blue belt. And I got mine December 15th, 2012.
But you know what? They made that rule with the assumption that people were training, 2-4 times a week. Like that, that's the old way. Like back then, people were getting black belts in, 8 to 12 years. We're not seeing that anymore. Like, do you think that they should, you think they should change that now? Because it's ridiculous. People get their black belt in 4 years. Seriously. It's like Hillary Williams that we had on, Kit Dale, I don't know if I'm sure there's many others, but I'm just talking about the people we've had in the past. So
I think Coyote is the same way.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that, Mason? I don't want to get you in trouble.
I mean, I don't really like it, but I kind of understand it. It's it kind of protects the sport, but I also feel like it's kind of holding back the competition. So if the Meows were ready to fight black belt when they were purple belts, man, then they could have been black belts. But I don't really mind it. I feel like it's gonna work out like in the right time frame when I get my purple belt, like next year or whenever I get it. But I don't know. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it also kind of hurts the competition because you're gonna have a blue belt that's black belt level fighting blue belts. You know, like so. I mean, it is what it is. Like the rules are in place, and I have to follow them if I want to compete.
I guess.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say on the flip side of that too, there's nothing to say that an instructor can't promote a student prior to that. It's just from a competition standpoint. Right?
Yeah. So
like
yeah,
you could very well get your purple before and then just not have to take a little bit of time off competing, right?
yeah. I mean, however that works, like, is how it's gonna work. But
I've never seen somebody more depressed about talking about getting his purple belt.
no. But I don't know. I don't feel like I'm ready for the purple belt. When I got the blue belt, I didn't feel ready for the blue belt. Like,
I think it's also just like. Go ahead. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
No,
Rami, come on, Rami.
I know.
No, you're fine. Obviously the bros see me training all day, every day, and they're gonna promote me when I deserve it. But like, there's things I want to accomplish, like before I get the purple belt. Like, I want to win. I've never won an absolute division. I've gotten second. But I've never won one. I want to win one. I want to be a light feather winning the absolute division. So that's one of my goals before I get the purple belt. And then there's like obviously like the major titles I want to win. Pan Am.
Sorry, can you repeat that again? Sorry, because the audio did cut out just for a couple seconds. Yeah, we heard Pan Am's and then it was silent.
Oh, yeah. I want to win the major titles at blue belt. Like, obviously, I want to be, like, Pan, world champion, European champion at every belt. And so it didn't work out at a blue belt this year, so maybe next year.
Well, I mean, like, all right, go ahead.
I almost think it's like, because just talking about the way the belt system works, I feel like it almost works in favor of the people who do take it really seriously, like Mason, or even, like, somebody like Keenan or the Meows or whatever, because when they were purple belts, like you're seeing now, like Keenan's doing really well as a black belt, but in Pans he lost or whatever, and like he's not quite struggling, but he's still having a bit of a hard time. I think if he did it earlier, it might have been harder for him, or who knows where it would have been. So I feel like it's really beneficial for the guys who take it very seriously and they want to be a black belt world champion at some point, but then it kind of makes the people who take it a little more casually, like us, and we face like people are training every day nonstop. I'm training like every day once, if that. But yeah, I think it's just like a trade-off, I guess.
Yeah, like I mean, there's both sides to it. It just depends.
Yeah.
I think if I was fighting purple belt, if I was fighting brown belt, I would get better, but I would lose a lot more, and that's why I would get better because I would lose a lot. I would feel like what it takes to be the purple belt champion, what it feels like to be the brown belt champion. But I'd also be losing a lot more. I know that for sure. Like, yeah. I don't think. I think when you get the belt, whether you feel ready for it or not, you have to like experience like what the top guys of that belt feel like. Well, I don't know. It depends, I guess. There's guys like the Meows that are just gonna be the top. Like, man, they were black belts at purple belt. Like they were winning the absolute divisions and stuff, like double golds. But once you get the next belt, you have to compete a bit. You have to like feel what a purple belt world champion feels like, and then that's how you start like reaching that level. And then next the brown belt, and then the black belt. You know, so like Gianni now at black belt, now he's feeling like what it's like to compete at black belt. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Another question from YouTube, but it's also a question I kind of was going to ask anyway. And it was about the Pan Ams this past couple weeks ago, or last week or whatever. So the closing out of the divisions, right? That's a big topic everyone's all upset about because the 8 matches, 5, I think it was 5, were by a gentleman's agreement, were closed out. So a question on YouTube, and it kind of relates to this, is do you consider Atos guys from San Diego your teammates? So if you face an Atos guy, do you compete with him or do you close a bracket with him? Is there like a rule you guys have at your club there? Again, if you can't say, don't worry about it, but if you can, it'd be cool. But yeah, it's like would you close out from somebody who's not from art of jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, I don't think I would.
So it's up to you, is what you're saying? Like it's up to the competitor?
Yeah, so I had another Atos guy in my division, but he was from Brazil, and then he came to Atos San Diego to train for a few months. He's my division. He was on the other side of the bracket, and he ended up making it to the finals. And if I would have made it to the finals, I think I would have fought him. Or I would have fought him for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's not even from your school. I mean, if he's
Yeah.
maybe your buddy next to you, wakes up and does the fight club every morning. Okay, maybe
Yeah,
that's a little different, right?
Man, I feel like that's way different because everyone wants to see those guys fight, and like they should fight, but like the Meows aren't gonna fight because they're brothers, you know. Like they train all day, every day with each other, and it's kind of the same when you're training at the gym with someone all day, every day. You know, like same gym, but I think different gyms or different schools. As long as you're the same team, I think you should fight. It makes sense. Like you're not training with that guy every day. If you beat him, you're gonna go back to your gym. He's gonna go back to yours. You know, if he beats you, you're gonna go back to your gym. He's gonna go back to yours. So.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. I think they should have fought, but to answer the question, yeah, I would fight someone from Atos San Diego, and like people from AOJ fight Atos San Diego all the time. We train together, but we also fight. We know what to expect. We're planning on fighting each other before the tournament. We know.
Yeah.
So.
And from the same person, again, that was a question from Arwen Menelek, but another question from him is so when the Meow brothers were up there training, did you get a chance to roll with them?
Yeah, I was training with them every day too. They were always on the mat. They're really cool guys. A little different, but they're really cool. Really good at jiu-jitsu. So I trained with them a lot. They were staying with the brothers, so whenever the brothers were at the gym, they would be at the gym. So we were with them all day, every day too.
They're probably training at the brothers' house anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
So is it true? Like, are they like always on the mats, never stop, nonstop? Like the videos always show us. Like the one quote they say is like the only time I leave the gym is like go to the market or like you know what I mean like
yeah that's pretty true. They may be in the gym like resting or like on the computer, but they're watching jiu-jitsu videos on YouTube or something. Yeah, for sure. Like jiu-jitsu's on their mind like 24/7.
Again, that's an interesting dynamic there because like they came over there to stay with the brothers and then Hafa beat them at
Euros.
Yeah, right, exactly. So it's just interesting how it works. Like
I know that like I remember seeing an interview. I think it was on like one of the Budo inside. I can't remember what it's called. Like open. What's it called?
Rolled
I don't
Up?
know. One of the
Rolled Up episodes?
or something like that. And then they talked to Hafa and Guy, and they were just like, yeah, like they'll come here and train with us, but ultimately. And then they even said like we won't face each other because we're brothers, but they said ultimately we'll face them out when they get their black belts. This is when they were still browns, I think. So,
yeah. I think they both the Meows and both the Mendez brothers. They knew they were gonna fight, but the opportunity for them to train was it was such good training for all of us. Like I feel like the Meows learned a lot about the brothers too. They learned a lot of I feel like their passing got really good like between January and June, training with the brothers and they knew they were gonna fight, but the opportunity to train was so great that they couldn't pass that opportunity up. So,
sure.
It's another one of those like it is what it is. Like you just have to accept it and deal with it. So,
cool. One more question, sir. You know what? We're over our hour, but we're gonna keep going, guys, because like there's demand. There's demand for you, Mason.
Man, we can go as long as you guys want. This is fun.
So another question was at white belt or blue belt. This is from someone named Kid BJJ. At white belt or blue belt, which is the match you're the proudest of so far in your competition career? And you can name drop here.
Name drop?
Yeah, like if so and so, like you know. Maybe he's listening.
That's tough. There's definitely been matches where I'm like really excited to win.
Like the VJ one. Like that was a big one. We touched on that one.
Yeah.
We already answered that question, Kid BJJ. It was VJ.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on. We know the answer to this one. Yeah, that fight was awesome because, like, man, it was so hard for 6 minutes. Like, I don't know. Like, there were so many times when I wanted to quit, or like I was so close to losing. Like, I don't know. But that's definitely one of them. I felt like I learned a lot from that match. I gained a lot of confidence from that match. There's a few other ones, just like random guys that were, I don't know. I feel like rematches. I always like. I'm very proud. Like my very first fight at blue belt, I fought a guy and I won by like one advantage in the last like 10 seconds. I like scored in the last 10 seconds and I won. And then I fought him again like 8 months later and I like swept him in like 5 seconds. Stood up, passed the guard, like took the back and like choked him. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm getting better. Like this thing works. But no. I don't know. It's just a bunch of random matches that I feel like they make me feel like all my hard work is like paying off. But there's no like one match where it's just like, yeah, I beat that guy. Like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It makes sense in my head where it's just like, I learned a lot from this match because of this, if that makes sense.
So you're taking like pieces from individual matches, kind of thing.
Yeah, and there's also been times where it's like I've been working on a certain pass for a month. And then I go to a tournament and I do that pass, and I'm just like, yeah, I did it. Like, it worked. And then just stuff like that, like little pieces. Like, there's fights where I've won in like a minute or 2 minutes, and it's just like, oh, that was cool. And then there's matches where it's like 6 minutes coming down the last few seconds, and it's just like I learned a lot more in those ones than the other ones. Like, I feel like the tough matches are the ones I'm like more proud of, or I feel like I learned more in.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. So again, for those of us, so for those who might be listening, so we always have things going on behind the scenes, fielding questions or whatever. So that's why if you see us like maybe there's a slight pause or something, that's the reason. Okay, it's like we're genuinely, you know what I mean? We're not zoned out or something. Anyway, I just want to put that disclaimer out, and I'll probably edit this out so you won't hear this again.
Ahmed's also really good at creating uncomfortable situations for the live broadcast.
Yeah, I don't know what to say after.
No, I'm proud of us today. We kept it pretty clean. I'd say it's PG. We kept it PG today. Jordan wasn't here. Jordan's always got some creepy things.
Jordan just makes it dirty.
Yeah, it's like the old dirty bastard through the Wu-Tang there. If you guys don't know.
Yeah. Mason, if for any reason it doesn't work out with jiu-jitsu, there may be a spot on the Just a Gi Top panel for you.
Man, let's do it.
Yeah, we need another Rami. You know?
Yeah, because sometimes Rami needs to fly. You know, he's flying or something, so we may need a Rami stand-in.
Yeah. So again, for some of those who don't know about Rami again, he used to live up here in the Toronto region not with me, but you know, we don't live together. But anyway, so he flew out for work and whenever to San Francisco to live that life. And he's always busy. He's a tough guy to get a hold of. He's either, again, we're going to keep it clean, but he's busy. We'll just say he's busy. He's not as disciplined as Mason. So I think I prefer Mason as my younger brother.
I'm getting stuffed.
They look the same, so we'll chat about that later. But yeah, Mason, hey, it was awesome having you, man. And if you right now is the chance to give some shout outs to maybe some of your sponsors that you have. And, yeah.
Okay, first I want to thank you guys. This was awesome, really fun. Had a good time. But yeah, so thank you to obviously the Mendez brothers and AOJ Academy and Pat Tenori from Ruka. Like, man, those guys take such good care of me. I'm super fortunate, super blessed, and my parents, my girlfriend, always supporting me. My little brother, man, like, I'm really, really, really fortunate. I feel blessed. Like, sometimes I just stop and think, like, man, why do I deserve all this stuff? And then thank you to, like, man, all my sponsors, my team. Thank you guys. It really wouldn't be possible without any of those people. So it's really awesome. Like, I'm gonna work hard for you guys. So thank you. And Grandma, I love you.
What about Moya brand, man? You're sponsored by Moya. You didn't mention them, or are you not sponsored by them anymore?
We'll figure it out later.
Yeah. What's the deal? Whoa.
I can't talk about it. Like, nothing bad happened. Like, man, Moya brand was awesome to me. Like, I love Moya brand. Like, awesome guys. Like, really great guys. They make really great gis. Like, Jesse and Phone Booth, like they always took care of me. Man, awesome people. But like, there's a new project coming out. I can't really talk about it.
I have a guess, but I'm not going to say it. I have a guess.
But I'm a part of it, and it was too good of an opportunity to pass by. And man, I have nothing bad to say about Moya. Really great guys. Really great.
Oh, like I said, sorry, I read an interview from them, so I didn't know you were not sponsored by them. So apologies about that.
No, it's all good, man. They're really good guys. Really good guys. Make awesome. Good geese. Really good stuff.
Okay.
All right. Well, again, Mason, thank you so much for being on today. It was really great to have you, and thanks for sharing your time with us.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me. Really fun. Sure.
So so that's a wrap. Episode 29 of Just the Gi Top podcast. Thank you to everybody that tuned in, and we'll have this up on the website in a few days, and we'll see you next week.
And sorry. Really quick. Well, are we still live?
Yeah, we're still here, Ahmed.
Yeah, we're here. All right. Sorry, we were gonna do a back-to-back, guys. We were going to, but that fell through just to do some conflicts and scheduling and whatnot. So apologies. We were gonna do that, but we flat out lied to you, and we're not going to. So we'll try to make that one up for you guys next week. We hope. That's it.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Ahmed.
All right. Thank you.
All right. See you next week.